This is Austin Drake with Move Free. In this video, we're going to go over an exercise to help improve hip mobility, specifically the tissue on the back of the hip, the posterior hip capsule. So we're going to get into this 90-90 hip position here with one leg in front, knee bent 90 degrees, okay, one leg in back, out to the side, knee is bent 90 degrees, okay. I'm going to hold myself up nice and tall, and then I'm going to start to engage that hip capsule on the back side of my hip by bringing my belly button towards the floor, towards my leg, and what I'm looking for is I'm trying to achieve a stretch in the back of the hip here, okay? So it may take a few tries to find the right angle, so I'm going to angle my belly button in different places along my leg until I find the angle where I feel that stretch kind of in the outer buttock region back of the hip, okay? And then once I find that stretch, so for me it's about there, then if I want to improve space in the hip, in the back of the hip joint and try to stretch out that hip capsule, then I'm actually just going to hold this position for 2 minutes, okay? So you'll want to set a timer and just hold that position. Now, after that 2 minutes of stretch, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to drive, I'm going to use those muscles where I feel that stretch, and I'm going to drive my leg down into the floor and ramp up the tension slowly. So I'm going 10% effort, 20% effort, 30%, etc. until I build up to an almost maximum pressure there. And once I feel that maximum tension, then I'm going to hold it for about 10 seconds, okay? After about 10 seconds of squeezing the back of my hip in this stretched position, then I want to fire up the front side of the hip, okay? So I'm going to brace, and then I'm going to try to activate this muscle on the front side here, on the front side of the hip, and almost lift my leg off the floor. And I'm going to try to hold that as best I can for about 10 seconds, and then relax, okay? Now, you can do just the pressure where I'm pushing and then lifting alone without the 2-minute stretch. In that case, you would be using it to sort of activate the hip, specifically to get activation of those nerves in the hip joint itself, in the capsule. And that may be beneficial if you're warming up or prepping for some kind of lower body activity, okay? So if you're having issues with hip mobility, that might be a good one to try to kind of open up the backside of the hip and improve that hip rotation.